Welcome to r/surviving infidelity. Story number 1. I tried so hard to improve our relationship, then discovered she was having an affair while pregnant with our second child. I knew things seemed off in our relationship for a while, but I guess at the time I blamed it on her being pregnant. Oh, she doesn't want to be intimate. Makes sense. She just wants some space. There is a lot of change coming. I was stressed about how we would pay daycare for 2 kids. I honestly thought once he was born things would go back to normal. We would fall back into routine. Roughly a month after he was born, I talked to WAYWARD SPOUSE about how things had been going. We both opened up about how we had been feeling and said she wanted to try couples counseling. Honestly didn't even think we needed it. I thought just opening up and talking to each other was enough. I admitted there was things I could be doing better and really wanted to improve. Over the next couple weeks, I had tried so hard to work on our relationship. I was trying to be more open, to communicate more, to tell her how I was feeling. I was getting ready to surprise her with a hot air balloon ride because I knew it was something she always wanted to do. I signed up for one of these date night inbox services to make sure we could have us time and 8 nights in, since we just had a baby. Then it happened. A couple days before our couples counseling appointment, she told me she had been having relations with her coworker pretty much the entire time she was pregnant. I won't have sex with 2 people at the same time. That's why I stopped having sex with you, is what my wife told me. Apparently, this was her mindset during the pregnancy. After piecing things together, there were times she was literally out having relations with the affair partner while I was home with our daughter while pregnant. She had been texting him right in front of me for months without me even realizing it. Of course, once the affair came out, she didn't stop. She kept texting him right in front of me and giggling on the phone until she moved out of our house. There was one time after the affair came out that we went out hiking together. She said she wanted to try and work on communication between us. At one point, I basically stormed off away from her because I was overwhelmed with everything and wanted to be alone. Well, a couple days later, WAYWARD SPOUSE happened to buy a new phone and her old one was sitting out unlocked. I saw some of the messages to affair partner. She was literally texting him and telling him that I just stormed off on that hike. Some other texts were like, "I can't wait to move out of here and not live with Mr. Toxic anymore. He says I'm breaking up the family." Well, I've officially been dumped on Facebook. Too bad divorce isn't that easy, lol. It was like she just didn't care at all. WTF. Here's the first comment. Paternity tests, pronto. As you've said, your wife doesn't give a crap about you. I suggest you lawyer up and start working on the exit strategy. Here's the next comment. Please insist on DNA testing of your children. Find a good attorney. Start divorce proceedings. You have the evidence of infidelity if you are in a fault state, and find a good therapist for yourself. Even if you were Mr. Toxic, no excuse to cheat. There are a number of things she should have done, and she is in a fair fog. Have her served first. You can stop it if she comes to her senses. She is projecting her behavior on you. She is the toxic one who does this crap. Work on you here. Ignore her unless it has to do with the kids. Don't give her the time of day. Don't communicate at all other than the children. Is her affair partner married? If so, his wife needs to know too. Here's the next comment. DNA test the kids and get a divorce. She's not who you thought she was. You have to take care of yourself now. Here's the next comment. I try to see the positive side of some of these, but not this time. This isn't savable. Inform the affair partner's HR department about them having relations at work. DNA test immediately. Lawyer up now and separate the cash. Inform her she has to go. Voluntarily would be nice. You need some space to figure out your future and heal from the bleep show. That is her. Inform her you have carried on in an adulterous relationship for months while pregnant, allowing intimacy with a stranger, while I basically watched our child and worked on improving communication to save our marriage. For this, you have complained to your adultery partner from work that I was Mr. Toxic. Your excuse for denying me intimacy was you didn't want to sleep with two men at once, so you thought it was acceptable to deny it to the man you said vows with and give it to a stranger. In one respect, you are correct. I don't want to share you either. In fact, I refuse to. You have communicated loud and clear your relationship with your husband is not as important to you as your adulterous one, and I have seen that you are impatient to leave. Since you are not interested in regaining trust or working on our marriage, I will give you what you want. You have destroyed the marriage, and our family is not worth your decision to have sex with strangers. I will make this formal, starting tomorrow. Thank you for the gift of showing me whom you really are. And thank you for making it clear you aren't worth another second of my time trying to fix this. My lawyer will communicate with yours henceforth. When do you plan to move out? Here's the next comment. Consult a lawyer and get her served as soon as possible. Some states force spouses to pay child support despite having a paternity test that says otherwise. Either way, it's clear as day that your wife isn't remorseful, nor is she invested in reconciling. I'm sorry to say, but it sounds like this was an exit affair. You're better off getting a lawyer and limiting contact to the kids, and nothing more. Feel free to expose the affair to friends and family. I'd encourage you to call up her workplace, but it may count against you in the divorce proceedings. So, I'd think things through before going nuclear on that front. Here's the next comment. Absolute worst. It hurts like bleep, but you dodged a monumental bullet. You don't need to be with somebody that cold and callous, and as much as it sucks for what you're about to go through, be grateful it happened now, and not a number of years down the road, when your second child came in the picture. They deserve each other. Story number 2. Been a few months since D-Day. Recurring feeling of struggle and feeling a constant remorse. I think she's pregnant. Last few months have been pretty crap. More so because we haven't been our usual selves. Wife had an extramarital affair for the first 6 months of this year. Caught her out, but we were trying for a child in that time. I've recently been told she's pregnant. I'm not the slightest bit happy about it. I'm telling no one. This is the first person I'm telling. Reddit. I'm pissed off. She made no attempt to reconcile with me properly. I still struggle to sleep at night after affair partner drove past our house several times. I never confronted him. She's got counseling for herself. This is a mess. I don't know what to do. I'm knowingly being a crap husband to her during her first pregnancy as a result, and I refuse to get professional help. For instance, we have no food in the fridge, and I'll tell her to go get some if she wants some, or ask her to come with me to the shop. WTF is wrong with me? She's a pregnant lady for bleep's sake. This isn't how it was meant to go down. We hardly talk properly anymore. I don't trust her fully. I need help, but I won't do it out of spite, and it's ruining us. Here's the first comment. Why are you staying? For the child? Your child will grow up miserable and unhappy with parents that have a broken marriage and clearly don't love each other. Please, always choose your personal happiness. Choose to love yourself and find the respect you deserve. Are you 100% the child is yours? Infidelity is a traumatic experience. As a result, therapy is a good idea to help learn how to cope with it. Seriously consider seeking out the therapy you need to develop better coping mechanisms. Here's the next comment. Refusing to get counseling is hurting you. Counseling, it was the best gift I gave myself. I could not wallow in hate and anger. I had to find a way to come to terms with my wayward spouse for my daughter's sake. Our relationship did not survive his infidelity, but I was able to parent with him. It was not easy or fun, but it was a better life for my daughter. Here's the next comment. Listen up. You have made so many mistakes here, and you will continue to do so until you get into individual counseling. Stay away from marriage counseling for the time being, like it's the plague. The biggest up yours you can give to her is to get healthier mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. In order to do that, you need a plan. To make a good plan, you need to be able to think clearly and objectively. Find a counselor as soon as possible. Bro, consider that you are being baby trapped. Act accordingly. Here's the next comment. Go to individual counseling with a therapist who has experience dealing with infidelity trauma. This is a specialty. You must interview the therapist to ensure they have experience with infidelity trauma. Many say they have this experience, but few do. Some think attending a training seminar for a couple of hours gives them the experience. I once interviewed a therapist who was a former wayward. He thought this gave him special qualifications to deal with infidelity trauma. Stay away from marriage counseling until you get your own bleep sorted out. You may never get to marriage counseling. Besides, the marriage did not cheat. You did not cheat. She did. The marriage isn't at fault for the infidelity. It may have other problems, but there is no marriage until the infidelity is dealt with. Here's the next comment. You were not like this before the affair, and your behavior is worsening as time passes because your wife is not doing her part and you are not standing up for yourself. You are mad at yourself. How did she get pregnant? What contraceptive method had you been using? Or did you change your mind about wanting a pregnancy? Your wife has to do something to fix this, or at least give a reasonable try. She refused to change her phone number because her phone number was her identity. In other words, she cares more about her phone number than you, which you know is not the truth. But it's basically what she's telling you. But you have not been willing to set specific requirements, like filing a complaint to the police for harassment/stalking, or changing her phone number, which the police will probably suggest. Your wife is still in contact with him through blocked messages. She liked his attention, his compliments. She has heard them 100 times over. She said stop it, but he kept doing it, and she never ended the relationship because of it, because she enjoyed the compliments. Then she started using pet names, the same pet name she used for you, because she had feelings for him too, same as you. The difference is that she wants to have a child, and he is not viable for having a child with. Also, he is not viable as a life partner. He is good for providing sexual/romantic compliments. Also, her reputation is too important to her for her to leave and be a known cheater. She's been with you for 15 years. If she left, she knows people would ask you and ask her, and she would be found out. You could tell people who ask that she has been cheating on you emotionally for years. That is probably her biggest fear, even a bigger fear than losing you. She loves you too, but she has feelings for him, there is no doubt. She gets a high when she finds out he called and was blocked. She knows then he still wants her. She gets the ego boost. You had her on a pedestal, and you still do, in every way, but the cheating. I'm sure she has many nice qualities that you love, but she is selfish. In a sense, love is a drug. I think there is a song, or lyric specifically saying that. Meaning love feelings can be addictive. Emotional affairs especially are addictive to the parties involved. Your wife seems to be a junkie. Are you aware of the difference in an alcoholic, between being sober versus dry? Your wife is not sober, but dry. She still wants him. She protects her addiction by refusing to change her number. She doesn't want to file a police complaint. You have plenty of evidence, and though I have not read your country's laws on harassment and stalking, I believe you would meet any law I've ever read anywhere. You are not liking yourself for staying in the current situation and not doing anything about it. Leave, or tell her what needs to be done for you to stay. Don't live your life against your own values. She will probably do what you request if you are adamant about what is acceptable to you or not. Thanks for watching.